is Jared Robbins. I'm
Yes.
a transportation coordinator. I've been doing it for about 22 years.
How'd you get into it?
I got into it with a gentleman by the name of Matt, and he kind of took me under his wing, taught me the ins and outs of the business specific to transportation. And from there, I went on my own, bought some equipment, made a company.
Transpoman.
Transpoman. I then merged my company with a friend of mine, Zio, and then sold it off.
And now you're living the dream.
Now I'm living the dream, still transportation coordinating. I'll never stop. I love it. I enjoy it.
What do you love most about it?
The people I work with. Yeah. If I didn't like the people I worked with, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, why?
You have to trust me. You have to trust knowing that I'll get the job done and make it happen for you. And if that trust isn't mutual, then I'm not your person.
If someone's looking to get into transportation, to the transpo department, to become a Teamster, what advice do you have for them?
My honest advice, now's not a good time due to the current state of the industry.
Yeah, so you would say wait.
I would say wait to see how things pan out. You got to understand there's a lot of people, you come in this business, you're a group, there's a grouping system, right? You're a group 1 at 10 years, you're a group 2 for 8 years, and you're group 3 for 2 years.
With the drivers, you mean, within the Teamsters.
Exactly. Yeah. So all the 1s and 2s have to go, all the 1s and 2s have to go up before the 3s go up. So if you're a 3 for 2 years, you're got to get all the 2s out and all the 1s.
So it's a seniority system.
Seniority system.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
You're a group 3 for 2 years. You're a group 2 for 8 years, and you're a group 1 after 10.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like, at least from my perspective, every time we talk, you're doing a bunch of shows, but it's still slowed down quite a bit. But even from your perspective, given how slow it's been or how busy you've been, you still would say that.
Yes. Yeah. It's a slim pool right now. A lot of stuff going overseas, out of state.
If you had to explain what the transportation department does in like a succinct sentence, and what you do specifically as a coordinator captain.
We're a mobile circus. Well, we, essentially anything on wheels we control. We move equipment around from location to location, logistics, people, equipment. Do
you have to know a lot about the mechanic side of vehicles?
Not necessarily.
To do the job?
No. It's always a benefit if you're mechanically inclined. I can do basic stuff, but I'm not gonna, open up a motor on set.
Right. Yeah, but I've been impressed because it's like the transpo guys I've worked with my whole career, they always have they always know what to do.
Yeah, so there's a lot of individuals that know several things, not just about trucks, they know just about life too. They've been through it all.
Goes hand in hand. Okay, so tell me when you work with producers, which is often, how you get hired by them, and then how, any producers you've worked with, you don't have to name names, but just what makes them exceptional from your perspective?
So it's all word of mouth for me. So I've had accountants refer me, PAs refer me to their UPM friends. I've gotten work from other transportation coordinators that are within my circle. We share information, and it's all word of mouth. I think I started way back when doing $500,000 shows to $1 million shows, and one of them had an accountant on it that referred me to another line producer. That line producer referred me to another one, and just trickled down from there.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about the importance of that because it is a relationship business, and it's good to know that even people are always paying attention, and it's how you show up, right? Because a PA can have a good experience of you. That somebody you may think they're inconsequential because
they can be your boss in a year.
Exactly, they can be your boss in a year. So it's always
and a lot of PAs that's how they started. I PA'd for a minute before I started doing this, and it wasn't for me. But everybody starts from the bottom.
Yeah,
and works
ideally, unless
and you always have to treat everybody with respect, because, like I said, you don't know, especially PAs. They're the ones that want to grow into something.
Right.
That's the starting point. Whether it's a grip, electrician, producer, you're never going to know.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get a call a year or two, wherever, and they're going to be like, hey, I remember you from so-and-so job. I'm a producer now. Can you do my transportation?
So of the producers, UPMs, line producers you've worked with, what, in your experience, makes them exceptional?
That they trust. Like you can tell when going into a job, right? One, that they know what they're talking about, right? They know the actual hard costs. They're not going to set themselves up for failure. There's producers I've worked for that will clearly, by talking to them, telling me their numbers, they are going to fail because they don't have the money to do it. Their bosses, they want to say that they can do something that's not feasible. And in the end, what happens? You get towards the end of the job and the bills stop getting paid. And that's happened to me multiple times on jobs back when, because that producer says they can do something for a dollar amount, knowingly that it's not possible. And then in the end, they don't pay.
Yeah. So trust. But what does the trust look like then? Just trusting your word?
Each other's word. Trusting that they know they're funded, one, right? They're not BSing you, because that's happened.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
They say they have the money in the bank, and really, it's not in the bank.
Right.
Right. The trust to me is like I know talking to someone that if they're telling me the truth, I'm gonna trust them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is one thing?
And of course, I don't want them being a jerk.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of goes without saying, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to deal with jerks depending on what you
Yeah.
step into.
Well, in my point of the career, if you come off to me as a jerk and you think you know it all, I'm not going to work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have a friendship, relationship. You trust me, I trust you. I'm going to get the job done. You're going to get the job done. You're going to get us paid. That's the agreement. I'm going to let you know, hey, you're going to go over budget. You're going to let me know, hey, something's going up with money.
Yep.
Right? So it's a trust thing.
Relationship and the trust too, because the trust and the relationship rather, because I remember on the last movie we did together, I think when I was coming up, it can be easy to be like intimidated and scared of transpo guys, especially once you go union and Teamsters. It's also scary. Teamsters were started by the mafia, et cetera. But a lot of the men and women, but generally men I've worked with have always been the gentlest and kindest, especially people you've brought onto shows. And I'll never forget when I did Sylvie's Love. I was going through a very bad life transition, through a breakup. I had to move in the middle of prep. It was like a whole thing. And I remembered the transpo guys, because we were doing overnights and we helped me move, helped me take all my shit from storage into the apartment. And they didn't have to do that, And it was just such a beautiful, touching moment of humanity, right? Because when we're on set, it's like, we all got life that's gonna keep happening. Life is gonna life. But to know that you can rely on people who get the circus, like you were saying, that we've all subscribed to be in and are gonna go the extra distance to help you. That to me is the stuff that I really remember and what I want to impart into other people that are learning from me or how they watch me operate, and those little ways that you can just show people that you care beyond a transactional job or a credit.
For sure. And you can weed out drivers. There's some drivers that you get on your team and you're like, you're a no man and we're yes people over here. And not only that, we're a team and you're an I, you're just not the right fit. We're all work together to create a product for consumers here, and we work with very intelligent, smart people that we should show respect to.
Yeah.
I tell all my guys, you never say no right off the bat. You say, hey, let me get back to you. Let me
see what I can do.
See what I can do.
Yeah.
You don't ever come off with a no. You always treat each other with a we or an us. It's never I. It's a team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I try to instill that into my main core team.
Yeah.
Right? It's we, us, team.
It shows.
Yes.
And I think it's the same across every department, no matter what. It's just about being a good person, regardless of what you're doing, what your title is. So just to wrap it up, if there was something you wish producers knew about a hardship or a challenge that your department or you normally face that you're like, man, I just wish producers understood this more. I wish that people coming up knew this better. What would that be?
I think it's sticker shock. I don't think producers coming into this, they start doing a budget and they start being like, why is it so much money for Teamsters? Why are you guys like, why do I need 20 of them? Why do I need 25 drivers? Why do I need all this equipment? Like, a lot of them didn't even realize, the new ones, right? That transportation is like it's usually 10% of your budget, right? And it's very hard for them to understand the why is it 10% of the budget, right? Why is it so expensive? So the best thing I can tell them is don't underestimate, what it costs to have your production go smoothly with transportation.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot producers sometimes bite off more than they can chew, and they don't have a true understanding of the hard costs. I'm going to spend $100,000 on fuel. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't control that.
Right.
Sometimes they look at it as like, well, why is it so much money? It's like, I don't make the fuel prices. That's what it costs to run a generator.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, also the amount of people, right? You're used to on your departments, it's, there's 5 people, 6 people in a grip department, right?
Depending on the size of the
Depending on the size of the budget. With rigging, it could be more.
Right.
Transpo, it's also the most
Every
amount of
vehicle
people.
requires a driver, yeah.
It's the most amount of people too, so that's why your labor costs are high. I'll go back to the trust last. Like, trust your transportation coordinator that he has your back. Trust what he says.
Yeah.
Understand it. If you don't agree on certain things, communicate that with each other. It's very important.
Okay. Thank you.